Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to a very special video for Kerbal Space Program, where I have the honor of demonstrating to you an entirely new paradigm of ship design for the Kerbal Space Program. And this comes to us from the excellent Kerbal Space engineer, MsCarsonelle, who some of you may know as a moderator on my Twitch channel, or as the armless dwarf from one of my Dwarf Fortress Let's Plays. She is also a Let's Player and a live streamer and all that kind of jazz. And she recently did a video of Kerbal Space Program, trying it out, sort of blind, and she came up with the most astounding ship design that I simply had to do it here and show more people, because it is just unbelievable. You know, there's, what's that quote about, in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they go to the restaurant at the end of the universe, and it's like, patently impossible if this thing exists. They're marketing something like, well, if you've already done 7 impossible things today, why don't you round it off with dinner at the restaurant at the end of the universe, or some damn thing like that. And this ship is so impossible that it's amazing. So first of all, of course, we do have to start with some sort of command module, and MsCarsonelle chose the Mark I cockpit on the basis that it is awesome looking, and I think we can all agree that this is like the coolest, most badass cockpit that is possible in the game. There's no doubt about it. And then, you know, it was the idea, of course, we're going to need a little bit of fuel, so we're going to go with this little fuel tank, and then maybe a little bit more like that, and obviously we're going to need an engine after that. So we're going to grab this one here. The Reliant engine, of course, has Reliant in the name, so how bad could it be? And then after that, of course, we're going to want to attach a small inline reaction wheel immediately there. I know what you're saying. No decoupler? No! This is a new paradigm of ship. You see, MsCarsonelle has discovered that decouplers are completely obsolete. So we're going to have the small inline reaction wheel there. And you know what? We're also going to put in, how about an RCS fuel tank right down there? That sounds pretty good. And then, how about some more fuel, just to make sure that we've got enough juice to keep going. Here, we'll use a slightly bigger one now. We'll use the FL400. And then, maybe more engine. Oh, we can use one of these solid fuel boosters under there. The Thumper, of course, that would be quite good. And why not? You know what? It's not enough engines at this point. Let's go ahead and throw in the Weasley basic jet engine under that as well, just to give it a little bit more something. I think we can all agree that at this point, we've got a pretty strong and winning design. So let's make sure that we've got Jebediah is piloting. Obviously, over here I am in the sandbox mode here, not the my career mode. Let's play, and we're gonna take this to launch pad, and we're gonna take off with the ship. And I know what you're saying. The ship couldn't possibly fly. I mean, patently impossible that this thing even lifts off. But you'd be a fool to say that. I mean, an absolute fool. And you're going to say, well, what about staging? You don't have any decouplers. Decouplers, who needs that? Let's hit spacebar and see what happens. We're going to hit spacebar and we're going to launch all 3 engines simultaneously in a row and see what happens. And you're going to say, it's not going anywhere, but just wait, just wait, just wait. Boom! We have a liftoff. What? Who needs those little stability struts, anything like that? No, 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 no. Just put a jet engine underneath your SRB, and you'll have that you know, little security on takeoff. You'll have the ability to have your engines reach their full burn potential before they go. Now we've just run out of fuel in our solid rocket booster, and you're gonna say, well, how do we separate to the next stage? Don't worry about it. Again, who needs decouplers? Completely passé. No one needs anything even remotely similar to that. There we go. Our next stage fires automatically. I don't even have to hit anything on the keyboard. That's the brilliance of this design. The brilliance of this design is that each stage will just fire on its own without any human intervention whatsoever. So we're going to continue going up here. Now we do get a little bit of a problem here as our rocket tips over ever so slightly due to aerodynamic forces, which seems like a bit of a problem. It becomes a little bit of a problem when we do run out of fuel as well. And then there's a third problem that might occur to you when we realize we don't actually have a parachute equipped here. And Jebediah may be on his last flight. I mean, we know he's quite tough, but how tough could Jebediah really be? Well, I mean, assuming that the laws of randomness and probability are on our side, you may be quite surprised as to what will happen next. I don't want to time accelerate or anything like that, because we want to make sure that we want to interfere with things as little as possible. Of course, that was our ultimate target over here, the moon. And then, what is that? Is Is that Minmus or another planet? Or I know, I think I do have another ship in orbit somewhere. It could be that we're spotting that. It seems a little hard to believe. I would suspect that that's probably Minmus over there. We are currently on our way down, and preparing for our landing, I suppose. I mean, this was our test flight here. We got up to what, about 15 kilometers from the surface of Kerbal. That's got to be pretty good. I mean, that is a successful test of our decoupler-free automatic staging rocket, and I think we can all agree that that went pretty well. We're approaching nearly 300 meters per second at this point. We're probably going to start to get some Mach effects very, very soon here around our ship. Let's see what will happen. At this point, it's important to note, I have not touched a single control other than the initial spacebar to start our ship. There we go, a little bit of Mach effects. The air resistance is starting to hit, and we are coming up on the ground, and let's see what kind of a landing that we can end up making over here. Everything is fine! As we can see, we've got a perfectly successful flight here through no decouplers and no parachute, and we have successfully landed right back at the Space Center, and everything is awesome. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do think that this is the right way to pursue Kerbal space engineering in the future, do make sure to check out MsCarsonelle's channel, where I stole this rocket design completely. All I did is copy exactly what she did, and I think we can all agree that was one of the most epic flights ever embarked in the Kerbal space program. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye.